Hi besties, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Rachel and welcome to a very exciting video. In today's video, I am going to be showing you guys all of the books that I have acquired over the last maybe like 5 or 6 months. I have not done a proper book haul yet in the year of 2024, and I figured it was time. I'm really excited to show you guys the newest additions to my shelves, the new besties. We have quite a lot here. I have tons of fantasy romance, of course, and then I have just regular fantasy romance. I have a middle grade somewhere in here, and then at the end, I am going to be doing a bit of an unboxing because I did get a very special edition of my favorite series of all time, which is the Throne of Glass series, and I'm really excited to open that and see it for the first time with you all. So let's get straight into this book haul. All right, so the first book, a part of my book haul, is Wild Love by Elsie Silver. I am actually currently reading this. It's going fantastic, by the way, and I just absolutely love Elsie Silver's writing. I really love the Chestnut Springs series. That is my favorite romance series of all time, so very excited that she is starting a new series, and I think this book is so cute. Pink is my favorite color, and I think this cover is perfection. Next up, we have a new release by Lisette Marshall, which is Curse of the Thorn King. This is a shorter fantasy romance, which I'm always on the lookout for shorter fantasy romances because they are all so long, which we love, but you know, sometimes we just want like a cute, quick, fun fanro time. So this book is pretty short. I think it is around 300 pages, and it looks like it's the first book in the Wayfarer Fae series. So really excited about this. Always have my eyes on new fantasy romance series, particularly if they involve fae, so I'm excited to read this. Next up, I have The Fake Out by Stephanie Archer. I purchased this book because my friend Cami was really raving about it. She really enjoyed it, and I just think this cover is adorable. Also, the way that it matches my shirt right now, we love. This cover is adorable, and this is a hockey romance. It's based in Vancouver. I just think it sounds really cute and really fun, and I'm gonna be honest, the cover buy and then my friend Cami absolutely loving it really was the reasons that I purchased it, so I'm really looking forward to this. When I am in the mood for a fun hockey romance, I will absolutely be picking this up. Continuing on the contemporary romance train, we have On the Same Page by Haley Cass. This is a sapphic romance. Once again, super cute cover. This was gifted to me by my friend Ami, and I can't wait to get this because I have heard wonderful things about it. Next up, we have Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. I just finished this a couple days ago. 5 stars. One of the best contemporary romances I have ever read in my entire life. I am obsessed with this book. This book is me. I am it. Like, I love this book to death. It has bewitched me body and soul. I will never shut up about this book for the rest of the year. Get prepared. Definitely gonna be one of my favorites of the year, but also like a new favorite of all time. It also has an amazing cover, so truly 10 out of 10. Cannot recommend this book enough. Really happy to have this on my shelves. Next up, I have 2 editions of House of Flame and Shadow by Sarah J Maas. So this is the Indigo edition, and this does have her signature in it, and then this was the Target edition that I did pick up on release day. Next up, I have An Education in Malice by S.T. Gibson. This is S.T. Gibson's newest release, and S.T. Gibson wrote one of my favorite books of all time, which is A Dowry of Blood. I think that book is perfection, so I'm really excited to get to this. I love their writing, and I really hope that I love this. Next up is a newer fantasy romance release that I have seen talked about a little bit on Bookstagram, and that is Aisling, Breath of the New Creature by A.E. Jurgens. Really cool cover, and then I believe this is a fae fantasy romance, and I think it's super slow burn. Like, I don't even know if there's any romance in the first book, but I think it is going to progress over multiple books in the series. There are a few people on Bookstagram that I super trust their fan opinions, and I saw them talking about this and they said it was really good, so I'm really looking forward to this. Next up, we have Thief of Silver and Souls by Eva Chase. Number 1, she is everything. The beauty. Like, she is just blowing me away right now. Also, the coolest little design on the edge there. I absolutely love that. So this is a fantasy romance. I believe there is like an academy setting, and I almost want to say this is Why Choose. I could be wrong, but I think it is Why Choose. So I'm excited about this. I don't read a lot of Why Choose, but I do want to find a really great reverse harem. So I've seen a few people read this and like this, and the cover got me. She's absolutely stunning, so I really hope that I enjoy this. Next up, we have The Bridge Kingdom and then The Traitor Queen by Danielle L. Jensen. So I decided to purchase these after reading The Traitor Queen. I had read The Bridge Kingdom a few years ago and it was just okay, but then I decided to pick up The Traitor Queen because I had many of my subscribers tell me to continue on with the series, and you guys were right. Per usual. I absolutely love The Traitor Queen. It is really strong for me. This book is just like okay. It was a 3-star for me, but this really did it, and so now I'm fully invested in the series. I really like Danielle L. Jensen's writing in this series, so I had to pick up copies of this series. Another book by Danielle L. Jensen is A Fate Inked in Blood. This is her newest release. It is a Norse mythology inspired fantasy romance, and I was really excited about this. One of my most anticipated releases of the year. It was just all right. I think it had a really strong beginning. I kind of got bored as things went on, but happy I read it. As I said, I do like Danielle L. Jensen's writing particularly in the Bridge Kingdom series after reading The Traitor Queen. The writing was good in this book, but I just wasn't really here for the romance. This book is beautiful. It has really stunning edges, so I'm glad that I read this, but it's not a new favorite. Next up, I have A Dawn of Onyx by Kate Golden. Now, I do own the indie version of this book. I bought that like 2 years ago, I want to say, but then it did get picked up by a traditional publisher, so I wanted to read the newly updated version. So I did just read this, really enjoyed it, and I'm super excited to pick up the sequel. That just came out as well. I haven't got to it yet, but I definitely will soon. Next up, I have an ARC, and that is called The Deer and the Dragon by Piper CJ, and this is part of the No Other Gods series. So what I've heard about this is we have angels, we have demons, we have a prince of hell, and we have fae. So like I'm there. I'm sold, I'm done, let's wrap it up. Like I am so there. I think this sounds really good. I believe this is also kind of meant to be an urban fantasy, paranormal romance, somewhere in that realm, which I'm always on the lookout for more like urban fantasies, paranormal romances, anything that gets me close to the feeling of House of Earth and Blood I'm really excited about, and just some of the things that I saw advertised about this book definitely makes me feel like there could be some similarities. So I'm really looking forward to this. I'm actually gonna start this book this weekend, so I really hope that I love it. The next book, a part of my book haul, is A Heart of Blood and Ashes by Milla Vane. I picked this up because one of my friends, Erin at Booked and Busy, she recommended this book. She said it was really great. It is a fantasy romance, and her fantasy and fantasy romance opinions are just everything to me, and if she said a book is good, I'm gonna pick it up. So I'm really excited to read this. I haven't heard a lot of people talk about it other than Erin, so I'm really looking forward to it, and I hope I enjoy it as much as she did. Next up is a newly released fantasy romance, and that is Beyond the Aching Door, which once again, stunning cover. I have seen this advertised as Divine Rivals meets A Court of Silver Flames. I have no idea what that means. Like, what a comparison. Those books are so different, but that makes me really excited because I really enjoy both of those books, and I think what an interesting concept that could be. So I'm super looking forward to this. Next up, I have Peaches and Honey. This is also another fantasy romance, I believe, but I also know that it does get compared to The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue quite a bit, which is a book that I enjoyed, but I wasn't like obsessed with. So I'm hoping that maybe this can give me those vibes, but maybe even a little bit better. Next up, we have The Veiled Kingdom by Holly Renee. This is also a recent release by this author. This author wrote A Kingdom of Stars and Shadows, I believe is the name of the first book in their prior series, which is kind of like a shorter fantasy romance, very spicy book, just a lot of fun. And this is another book that is a little bit shorter. I've heard it's very spicy, and I just like Holly Renee's writing for like the fun of it all. I know what I'm getting into when I read one of her books. It's gonna be spicy. There will be fae, enemies to lovers. We're gonna have a good time. So I'm really excited about this. Also has a pink cover, so I was a goner for this book as soon as I saw it. Next up is a very special edition of my favorite book of all time, which is House of Earth and Blood, and it was a gift from my friend Hannah, and she annotated this edition for me, so it's truly just like the most special, iconic edition of all time. Truly, the fact that she took the time to do this is just like, I can't even put into words how much I appreciate it, how amazing of a friend she is, and the fact that she did this for myself and then a few other friends is so kind. She is a literal angel. I love this book to death, and just knowing that I have a copy that one of my best friends put so much love into, it just makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. So I really love this. She did such a good job with it. She has her annotation key here. She put stickers in it because she's adorable. So yeah, this is absolutely a prized possession. The next book, a part of my book haul, is Lore of the Wilds by Annalise Sabrana. So this is a new adult fantasy romance, and as you can see by the cover, we do have a stunning love triangle. I enjoyed this book. It was like a 3.5 star for me. I am gonna pick up the next book, and I'm excited to see what is going to happen in this series. I had fun with this book, and I think that the cover is beautiful. Next up, we have Fates and Furies by Helen Shorer. So this is the newest release in the Legends of Thesmar series, the first book being Blood and Steel. I read Blood and Steel, and it was all right, and then I read Vows and Ruins, the sequel, and I really loved that. So now I'm fully invested in this series. Super excited about it, and the finale comes out later this year, so I definitely want to get to this soon so I can be all caught up. But I really enjoy this fantasy romance series. Lots of training sequences, lots of warriors, lots of enemies to lovers goodness, and quite a bit of spice, so definitely recommend. The next book is The Goddess and the Hawk by Kiara Gala. This was actually gifted to me by a subscriber, which completely blew me away. I am so grateful, and I cannot wait to pick this up, and just knowing that one of you guys sent this to me, so amazing. You absolutely do not have to do that. I am so incredibly appreciative of that, and just knowing that one of you guys sent it makes it extra special. All right, next up is a series that if you have watched literally even just one of my videos that have come out in 2024, you've heard me talk about this series at some point. Just guess what series I'm about to hold up. That is, of course, the Kindred's Curse Saga by Penn Cole. I won't spend too much time on this other than to say, if you have not picked the series up yet, you need to. It is a fantastic fantasy romance series. It is incredibly slow burn, like painfully slow, but in the best way. Has amazing found family, characters, plot twists. It gives you everything, truly. It does. It is so much fun, and the highlight of my year already is this series. The finale is coming out on June 1st. I am not ready, but I am also so ready, and I'm just really thankful that I found this series, and I will read anything that Penn Cole comes out with in the future because she is just so talented, and you guys absolutely need to read it. All right, another series that I've recently gotten into, which I did not know if I was gonna like this series, but I've seen so much praise for it is the Boys of Tommen series by Chloe Walsh. So I picked up Binding 13, which is the only one I've read, and I loved it. Oh my god, it was a 4-star, but like such a strong 4-star, almost a 5-star. I loved this so much. It made me feel so many things. I feel so connected to these characters and I just love them. I of course also picked up Keeping 13, which I really want to get to soon. And then the third book in the series is Saving 6, which is following a different couple. And then Redeeming 6 is the sequel to Saving 6. I will also definitely be picking up Taming 7, which comes out next week, I think, because it's about our boy, our golden retriever, amazing love of my life. So I'm really invested in this series. I really like Chloe Walsh's writing style. Her characters feel so real and oh gosh, I feel emotional talking about them, but the series I also think is going to be a very significant series for me this year because Binding 13 was such an incredible book. Next up, we have Swift and Saddled by Lila Sage. This is the second book in the Rebel Blue Ranch series. I read the first book, which was Done and Dusted last month, I want to say, and it was so good, so cute, gave me all the Chestnut Springs vibe. I am a small town romance girly. I truly am, and I'm really excited to read this book. We sort of have like this opposites attract, reverse Grumpy Sunshine, and I've heard really good things, so I'm excited to pick this up. Next up, we have Heartstopper Volume 5. This was actually my first 5-star read of the year. I love the Heartstopper series. I talk about it a lot on my channel, but it's one of the best series I've ever read, no matter the genre. I just think that this series is so important. These characters, they just have my entire heart and soul. This edition in particular, I thought was so fantastic. Each edition I have given 5 stars, and they are all true 5 stars. They make me feel so many things, and I just walk away from each edition feeling so much love and hope, and I just think Alice Oseman is so talented. The next book a part of my haul is Shut Out by Avery Keelan. This was actually gifted to me by Tori at Novel Life, and I'm super looking forward to this because listen to this tagline. He's the tall, tattooed stranger I hooked up with on Halloween, and now he's my new roommate. Absolutely, let's go. I'm so there. This sounds so much fun. I think that this is going to be such a good time, and I'm really excited to read this. Next up, we have Magnolia Parks Into the Dark by Jessa Hastings. So this is the conclusion of Magnolia and BJ's story. They are the main characters from the first and third book in this series, and I'm looking forward to this. I haven't picked it up yet just because I just don't think I'm in the right headspace for it, but I am really looking forward to it. I love Jessa Hastings' writing so much, and I will definitely pick this up soon, definitely within the next few months, but I just don't think I'm ready to pick it up yet, but I am definitely looking forward to it. Next up, we have another fantasy romance, of course, and that is The Prince of Prohibition by Marilyn Marks. This is like a 1920s era fantasy romance, which I think sounds really fun. I think that's really unique, and I just think that the cover is absolutely adorable. I actually had a subscriber message me and say, hey, you should pick this up because I think you would really like it, so of course I did. So I'm very much looking forward to this. Really excited about that setting. It's a little bit different for fantasy romance, and I think I'm really gonna like it. Next up, I have The Road of Bones by Demi Winters. This is another fantasy romance, and it is Norse mythology inspired. I read this recently, and it was just okay. It was like a 3-star book for me. I did enjoy moments, but overall, I wasn't super gripped by the characters or the romance, but I had a decent time with it. Next up, I have Hollow Heathens by Nicole Fiorina. This is a gothic, like, paranormal fantasy romance. This is for October Rachel. I don't think April Rachel will be picking this up, but definitely when it gets into the fall, I like to pick up a little bit darker, a little bit gothic fantasies and fantasy romances, and I think that this will definitely do the trick. I think it does lean more paranormal, but I'm really excited to try this. Once again, a book that I've heard great things about. The next book a part of my haul is A Promise of Peridot by Kate Golden. So this is a sequel to A Dawn of Onyx. It just came out. I really want to read this soon. I feel like we're gonna have a lot of amazing things happen in this book. Particularly, I think that the romance is gonna be stepped up a notch in this book, and I'm really looking forward to seeing that. And also with the crazy cliffhanger at the end of A Dawn of Onyx, I know that there's gonna be a ton of conflict in this book, and I'm very excited for it. Next up, I have Bride by Ali Hazelwood. So this came out in February, and this is her first step into paranormal romance. I really enjoyed this book. I gave it 4 stars. It is a vampire and werewolf romance, and it was very cute and felt very different for Ali Hazelwood. So I really enjoyed this. I will definitely pick up anything else in this series because the ending makes me think that we are going to have more books in this world. Next up, I have The Ever King and then The Ever Queen by LJ Andrews. So I've only read The Ever King, but I absolutely loved it. It is Pirates of the Caribbean meets Fae fantasy romance. It is so good. This is the sequel, and then in this series, it's going to be, I think, a bunch of like interconnected duologies. So this book does conclude these characters and their love story, but they will definitely play a part in future books. Really excited about The Ever Queen, and then really excited about the next book that's coming out called The Mist Thief, which is going to feature a character that we meet in this book, and he is like to die for. So I'm just really excited about the series as a whole. I think LJ Andrews is really talented, and The Ever King just really blew me away, and I love it so much. So I'm excited to pick up The Ever Queen and anything else that she publishes. Next up, another duology. I have The Wrath and the Dawn and then The Rose and the Dagger by Renee Audier. So I read The Wrath and the Dawn a couple months ago, really loved it, amazing, super strong 4-star. So I knew I had to pick up the sequel, which I have not read yet, but I am really looking forward to. The writing in this book is just absolutely fantastic. It is a YA fantasy romance, I would say. Enemies to Lovers has the amazing trope of I'm supposed to kill you, but, and I just really liked these characters, and I just thought that the writing was so gorgeous, and I'm really excited to see how things end in The Rose and the Dagger. The The next book, a part of my book haul, is Lord of the Fading Lands by C.L. Wilson. I'm gonna be honest with you, I have no idea what this book is about. I got this at Target. I was just perusing around the book section in Target, as you do, and I saw this and I could just tell it was a fantasy romance. I had a feeling there would be a fae involved, and I was correct. So I just picked this up. I thought it sounded good. I've never read anything by C.L. Wilson, but I know that they wrote that book. I think it's called like The Winter King or something like that. Hopefully you guys know what I'm talking about. It has a very like 80s, 90s style romance cover, but I've actually heard that that's a very good book, so I kind of want to check it out. But this book got picked up and has a new cover, and I don't know, my fantasy romance senses were tingling in the Target book section, and I just decided to pick this up, so we'll see how I like this. The next book, a part of my haul, is How Does It Feel by Janine O'Reilly. So this is a fantasy romance, and it is about a biologist who is in the woods foraging for mushrooms. She ends up falling through a fairy portal and then gets taken captive by a wicked, unseelie fae prince. All right, so next we have another fantasy romance, and that is The Frost Queen's Blade by Meg Smitherman. So this is actually a standalone fantasy romance, which we never see. That is exactly why I picked it up. And I also think that the cover is really gorgeous. So I am super excited for this. I do think that this came out recently, so I haven't heard a ton of people talk about it, but I am hoping to get to it soon. I hope I love it because we truly do need more standalone fantasy romances. Next up, I have Heartless Hunter. This is a new release, and I believe we have a witch versus a witch hunter, enemies to lovers. Sounds very cute, and a lot of my friends have picked this up and really enjoyed it. I also picked up Emily Wilde's Map of the Other Lands, which is the sequel to Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. I really loved that book. I thought it was so much fun. It's kind of this like historical fae fantasy with like a romance subplot, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what Emily and Wendell get up to in book 2. The next book is The Will of the Many by James Islington. So whenever I get back into my high fantasy era, this is definitely a book that I will pick up because I have heard incredible things, and I have so many like high fantasies that I need to get to. I need to get to the finale of Mistborn. I need to pick up Stormlight Archives, and I really need to read this. So whenever I'm ready for it, this will be a book that I pick up immediately, but I have heard amazing, incredible things about this, and I'm really looking forward to it. I have not read anything by this author, but a lot of people whose epic fantasy opinions I trust absolutely loved it and gave it 5 stars, so I'm super excited about this book. Next up, we have Furyborn by Claire Legrand. This is just a book that over the years I've always seen and wanted to pick up but didn't, and I decided to pick this book up. I think it'll be a really fun time. I do believe it is a YA fantasy, and I'm really looking forward to trying it out. All right, and then the last 2 books that I have to haul for you are Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. This is like one of my favorite, I mean, honestly, book series, book duologies of all time, but also as far as YA fantasy goes, it doesn't really get much better than Six of Crows. Truly, I love Six of Crows so much. It is one of the first books that I read when I got back into reading. It really blew me away. I love these characters so much. I do own like collector's editions of this duology, but I wanted to do a reread of the series, and I don't really like to touch the collector's editions. Those are just kind of there to be pretty. So yeah, I wanted to get some paperback editions so that I could reread these and re-experience the story again. All right, so the last thing that I have for you besties is an unboxing. So as I said, I ordered a special edition of the Throne of Glass series, which, hi, if you're new here, Throne of Glass is my favorite series of all time. It is so integral in my journey as a reader. It just feels like coming home when I read those books, and Celaena Sardothien is my favorite female fictional character of all time, and it just means a lot to me. So I have seen this special edition of this series kind of floating around Instagram for a few years now, and I decided to get it for my birthday, and I'm so excited because it's finally here. So let's open it up. Oh my god, you guys are not ready. I'm not ready, honestly. Oh, I do want to say at this point, there will be Throne of Glass spoilers potentially in this little unboxing, so if you don't want to be spoiled by the series, you can just click off now. Thanks for being here. Love you the most. But I don't want to spoil you if you haven't read the series and you plan to, but I do want to talk about this series like pretty openly as I look at each book. So you've officially been warned. So this is the box that it comes in. This is the first thing that I saw, which says, of course, once upon a time in a land long since burned to ash, there lived a young princess who loved her kingdom very much. And then on this side of the box, we have Throne of Glass special edition box set. We have the Lord of the North. We have our little buzzard boy there. Oh my god. Okay, I want to try to open this like with you guys on camera, but this is so heavy. But here we go. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. No way. No way. Do you guys see these edges? The colors are so vibrant. I hope it does show up on camera. I'll look at each one specifically. I'm not okay. Okay, so first of all, as you guys saw, they also have, are these like page overlays? I don't know what this is. Let's find out together. And by the way, the company that makes these is Acrylopix. I'll like put that text somewhere on the screen. They are who make this edition, and oh, they're so talented. Oh my god. Okay, you guys, we have page overlays and bookmarks. So these are what the bookmarks look like. They're a little bit translucent, but they have one of the characters' eyes and then a quote from them. And this is Sam's. I'm not okay. And then we have a few page overlays, which has the Once Upon a Time in a Land Long Since Burned to Ash quote. So pretty. And then then we have our girl, Miss Aelin Galathynius. So pretty. I love the colors that they use. It's just so vibrant and so bright, and I feel like it suits the series so well. And then we have the King's Flame, which is so pretty and so symbolic. Okay, now let's get into these books. Oh my god. Okay, number one, we have The Assassin's Blade, and it has a quote on the back. Looks like that. Oh yeah, the spines mirror what the stenciled edges are. And then we have Throne of Glass. Oh my god, you guys. The glass castle. Really beautiful. I love the moon on this one. And then we have Crown of Midnight there. Also, the font, stunning. Hello. And really beautiful again. On the back it says spirit that cannot be broken. Also, we have word marks here too. They thought of everything. Oh my god, the detail. 10 out of 10. And then we have Heir of Fire, one of the best books in the series. On the back it says she was the heir of ash and fire and she would bow to no one. Absolutely bestie. Oh my god. Okay, and then we have Queen of Shadows, which is my favorite book in the series. Queen of Shadows is so superior and the cover is so superior as well. Like, tell me why this is the best cover. I haven't even seen the others yet, but I already know this is the best cover. Look at that. Are we joking? Are we serious? The pink and the orange and the purple and all the wyverns. Oh my god. Also, the stencil digest for Queen of Shadows is really good because we have the mountain. On the back it says, "We are the 13 from now until the darkness claims us." This is a work of art. Next is Empire of Storms, which is another stunner. Look at how vibrant this is. This is Skull's Bay, I'm guessing, and so pretty. Also the Lord of the North, look at that little guy. On the back it says, "The world will be saved and remade by the dreamers." Absolutely it will. Really stunning spine as well. Next up, Tower of Dawn, another beautiful edition. Oh my god, I love this cover. On the back it says, "For wherever you need to go and then some, the world needs more healers." Why am I getting goosebumps right now? Oh my god, I read that quote like 6 million times and I'm still getting goosebumps. Guys, this is amazing. So beautiful. All right, and then we have the finale, Kingdom of Ash. Oh my god. Stop. Our boy, our main man, little staggy boy. I'm so overwhelmed. I'm so overwhelmed. Oh my god. Also, oh, there's stenciled edging on the top too. Oh my god, in the bottom. Okay, once again, attention to detail, 10 out of 10. Thank you, Acrylic. This is amazing. This is like an adult, like fairy tale book. You know what I mean? Like it's so magical and whimsical. I love it. I want to start my reread of Throne of Glass right now. And as I said, I still need to read Kingdom of Ash. This was amazing, and I'm so glad that we got to experience this together. I need to like dedicate an entire shelf on my bookshelves to just this edition of Throne of Glass because she deserves her own spotlight. All right, Angel Besties, thank you so much for going on this little book haul and unboxing journey with me. That is going to be it for today's video. If you made it to this point, go ahead and leave the fire emoji. Please make sure that you're following me on Instagram and Goodreads. They are always linked down below. I really appreciate that you watched this video. I hope that you're having a fantastic day. I love you all so much, and I will catch you guys in the next one.